Hello everyone! Continuing on with this series on creating a notice of work or a NOW, today I'm going to show you guys what the ministry has online for submitting your NOW. They have a little bit of an overview showing you everything you need and then a little tool to get started. So it's just going to be a short video today to show you those things. So first thing we're going to have to do is start up a browser. And in that browser, just do a little Google search for MTO, Mineral Titles Online, and Notice of Work. You'll find that the top thing in the search is this Front Counter BC Notice of Work, and that's the page that kind of gets you started on the whole thing. This here is just a bit of an overview of what you need for submitting your Notice of Work and takes you through a bunch of the steps required. So just the overview here. It doesn't really say very much in the overview. Application allows you to apply for Mines Act permit under the Mines Act in order to explore and develop the province's mineral, coal, placer, quarry, or agri resources. Okay, it doesn't really say much into the overview. Costs and responsibilities. That's the next thing on the list here. Now, they've recently put in fees for submitting Notice of Work. But luckily for small placer operations, they waive the fee. There is no fee for that. Now there will be a deposit you have to put down in order to start your work, and basically that is just a deposit saying that ensuring that you will clean up after yourself, that you'll do what you say and clean it up. And if you don't clean that up, you don't get that deposit back. Plus you could get fined for it. And I've heard that deposit has a minimum of $5,000, but one of the last people that I talked to that actually went through the process, it only cost him $2,500 for the deposit, so I'm not sure where those limits are. Once the ministry looks through your documentation, they will tell you how much you have to put down for a deposit. Okay, so cost and responsibilities is just basically saying if you have a hard rock or a large placer operation or a large gravel pit, that there's a chart that they go by of how much it's going to cost you. But again, for small placer, it's nothing. Here's the important one. Number 3, what you need. Well, it gives you a nice list here of all the things you're going to need to get ready before you start the process of submitting your NOW. The process is all online, so you have to have a whole bunch of stuff ready before you even start that process. Okay, things that you'll need. Your mine number, the name of the property, and the location. The activities that you're going to be doing, so sort of a description, a write-up of what you're going to be doing, and including how much volume you're going to be moving and how much timber you might have to cut down. Detailed directions to your claim from the nearest town. You need a safety plan, information on first aid, who to contact if there's an emergency. And that's going to be one of the big things that we have to go through here. And talking with someone else that has been doing these NOWs, he says that first aid and safety thing is one of the big components that they're looking at. Okay, description of the proposed work program, proposed start and end date, information about the present state of the land, including what work has been done on there, what equipment's already on it, any of that kind of stuff there. If there's any wreck sites, you'll need information of what's currently being done on that land. Information about First Nations engagement. Now, the property that I'm going to be doing on is no First Nations anywhere nearby it, but I still have to see if I have to contact the local bands and basically get their permission. I don't know. That's one thing I'm going to have to work my way through. Description and an estimated cost of the reclamation that you're going to do afterwards, how you're going to bring the land back to its original state, and a list of equipment you're going to be using. In my case, I'm planning to just put a bobcat on it, so I won't have too much equipment on there, but if you're using great big D9 cats or whatever it might be, you have to have that equipment all listed out in there of what you're going to be using. There's some documents you need to create. Location map, that's sort of a map showing where the claim is from the nearest city. A tenure map, so a map of the claim itself, and it gives you a scale here. It has to be less than 1 to 20,000. Maps of the proposed work site, so much narrower, just where you're going to be disturbing the land, and where you're getting water from, where the creeks are, those kind of things. And then tenure owner authorization. Well, I own this one, so it's going to be easy to get that authorization, but you don't have to own the tenure you're putting a now in on. You can be putting it in on someone that you're leasing, or you're basically renting from someone, or maybe your spouse or your mining partner owns it, you're putting the now in. So you have to have authorization to be putting a now in on that claim. At the bottom here, there's a bunch of additional things you might need if you are doing sand and gravel pit, but we're not, so we don't have to worry about that. There's the big one, what you need to have ready before you submit your now. Okay, number 4 here, what happens afterwards? Well, once you've submitted it, your application goes in, the government reviews it, and I hear that quite often they send it back to you telling you to make revisions on certain things. If you're not clear enough on something, or maybe they don't like where you're putting something, they might make you revise it. They'll also get back to you with a cost of what that deposit is going to be. Number 5 on here, consulting First Nations. Again, I'm going to have to go and figure out what I have to do for consulting the First Nations, because I'm not too sure right now. But we're going to have to figure that out as we go along and include that in the now somehow. Number 6 on here is a whole bunch of helpful links that you might need to help you with this. Links for the Ministry and Mines Act, Health and Safety, coal exploration, all sorts of links that might help you along the way. Number 7, tips for successful application. Okay, it says to use a BCE ID. That's how you log on to government websites. If you own a claim, you should have a BCE. You will need to have one of those because you need one in order to have a free miner certificate. So that shouldn't be a problem. It says reserve enough time. It should take you under an hour to complete your now. They say 45 minutes here. Now that's assuming you already have all the maps and all the documents together. It says here if you have any problems and need help, contact Front Counter BC. Front Counter or MTO, they're great. Mineral titles people are great to deal with. Just send them off a quick email. They're usually back to you the same day with the information you need. And have all the information and documents ready. So have all that stuff ready before you get started. And number 8 on here is starting your application. Now there's a little button right here. Once you click that button, it starts you into the process of creating that application. Since I'm not ready to start an application right now, I can click on it, but I'm not going to be able to go too far because I'm not ready to start one at this time. You can see here there's 10 steps that you're going to need to go through to complete it. That's uploading different maps and documents and whatnot. And we can apply without a BCE ID. That's if someone else owned the claim. You didn't have that, you could apply without, but it's easier if you apply with it. I'm not going to go any farther than this today because I don't have any of my documents ready. I'm not ready to submit this now. But I just want to show you guys the whole web page they have here for helping you out with getting your notice of work ready to go and all those different things that are on there. And sooner or later here I will be ready to go and put one in myself. My first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to step 3 here, point 3, and I'm going to start getting together all this information. Some of it is just going to be numbers I need on a piece of paper that I can input once I'm into the process. Some of it's going to be documents I need saved on my computer that I can upload while I'm going through that process. But that's going to be my next step, is going through this and making sure I have all that information ready to go. Well, hopefully this is all helpful for you, and if you ever want to go and put your own now in, you can follow along these steps, and maybe it'll be easier the first time through if you have a little bit of information to start with. Well, until the next one, bye.